Donald Sterling and his two women. On the same day, the owner of the LA Clippers was banned from the NBA for life. His former mistress, the woman who may have brought him down with audio recordings of his racist rant, was seen teasing the paparazzi, telling them she's going to run for president of the United States. Sterling's wife, Rochelle, also loves the cameras, attending the team's playoff games in the midst of the scandal. Deborah Farrick is with me, along with branding expert Steve Adubato and our legal analyst, Sunny Hostin. We're going to talk about this mysterious love triangle. But let me start with you, because you've been reporting on these women. And what have you found out?
What's fascinating is both of them are very strong personalities. There's no question about that. And Rochelle Sterling, who technically could have crawled into the hole and died after this humiliation that she suffered from her husband, instead said, hey, guess what, mistress? I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you for $2.5 million and anything else that my husband may have given you, because that was my money as well.
And those anything else includes possibly Ferraris and a whole lot of incredibly expensive.
Just two Bentleys, just two Bentleys, and $1.8 million.
And range.
Yeah, exactly. So you know, but it's very interesting. And also, you know, when you think about it, now the mistress is backing away, or the alleged mistress. Now we're calling her the alleged mistress, is backing away from any sexual relationship, which is clearly spelled out in the court papers. And yet they were together for 4 years.
Right, and the audio recording, she said to Donald Sterling, well, you love me, and I'm a minority, so, you know, she used that word, which may not have come with sex.
But it may or may not have. But I will say...
I'm just saying, right?
I know you're just saying, but I'm just saying that, you know, you said, Deborah, that Rochelle Sterling could have backed away. She should have backed away, because I think what she miscalculated, because, you know, Doc Rivers said to her when she asked, can I come to the game, he said, sure, because you did nothing wrong. She is the wife who clearly has been hurt here, and she's so innocent. Except it doesn't take much to go into those court papers. The federal suit that was, you know, it went against the Sterlings. She's in there. She said some things. They own those apartments. They allegedly discriminate against blacks and Hispanics.
Right.
She's got a problem. She's got a PR problem herself.
There were significant allegations that she also, you know, uttered a lot of racial epithets, that she posed as a health inspector and was writing down ethnicities. And so I agree. I mean, the fact that she, in and of, you know, by herself is sort of litigious is just unbelievable. And I've been looking at this lawsuit, and what's fascinating is she says that V. Stiviano, you know, Daft Punk, says that
currently known as V. Stiviano,
AKA
the visor, V for visor.
She alleges that she befriended and seduced and enticed and cajoled, you know, Mr. Sterling. And I think what's fascinating about that is that instead of, I think her anger is misplaced, right? Instead of being angry at her husband, she's angry at this other woman who I believe did a service to everyone. She's not a noble character in this, but wow, didn't she do a service to our country?
But what about the fact that the two women now turn on each other?
Yeah.
Why were they both with this guy who, I mean, and then they turn on each other? Why is this always the story?
Well, there are also very different circumstances. I mean, look, you cannot dismiss what was a 60-year relationship between Sterling and his wife. They grew up together. They created a life together. They have businesses together. She knew him.
She knew everything about him.
And she chose the wife style. She chose to stay. She chose to have what she was entitled to.
Well,
and look, I know a lot of rich men, absolutely.
And let's not kid ourselves. You know, I Googled the whole question of younger women. I imagine this woman was about 30. I'm not really
31, I think.
Well, I can't tell with the thing that she has on. But here's the thing, Erin. If you Google 30-year-old women with 80-ish-year-old men who don't have a lot of money, you don't find a lot of those relationships. Isn't that shocking? So I'm sitting there going, let me get this straight. The guy's got $1.8 billion. He's the owner of the Clippers. She gets to sit courtside, LA, you know, and the LA Clippers, and you know, with Magic Johnson and others. Okay, two Bentleys, the Ferrari, the Range Rover.
I'm getting this. Of course.
Of course it is.
Of course, that's what it's about, and that's not unusual. We see that over and over and over again. We see the older man with the arm candy, right? But I think again, the issue isn't V. Stiviano. The issue isn't his wife. The issue isn't sort of this tension between the two. The issue is that they were both with just a terrible, terrible man because he had money. Because don't tell me that Mrs. Sterling, having been married for 57 years, didn't know that he was racist, didn't know the way he operated, didn't, I think, acquiesce to that operation.
And let's get to this point that you all were making, though, that she may have agreed with those things. She may have been on board with those things. Deb,
There's things you can't even say that she said in the court
Right.
depositions,
And
Erin.
there
We
are a
can't
lot of
say it on
things-
CNN.
Yeah, there are a lot of things in a lot of relationships that people learn to ignore in their spouse.
no,
That's
Deborah.
why relationships last. Not
But
because
can
you
you ignore
adopt the
this?
theory,
Well, let's
but also to go to your point, you know, there are no ugly rich men, and so who knows? But
I love that line. But
Yeah,
Deborah,
yeah.
listen, respectfully, here's what we're talking. We're talking about a federal suit that they settled. The Sterling settled it for $2.8 million. She's named in the suit. She is named
As
in
an actor.
depositions
As
an
an
actor.
actor.
But she never negates or never says she didn't say. Listen, we can't even say what she said about blacks and
Well,
Latinos.
okay. I just want to set the record straight on this. First of all, none of them pled guilty to this.
They're
They
allegations.
paid
Sure.
to settle the allegations. So right there was no
And this is,
actual
again, about the
acknowledgement
discrimination in
of
terms
guilt.
of the real
there was
estate and
another
the
thing,
rentals.
one
Yeah.
thing that she's alleged to say, which is so offensive, and you know what the term is. I don't even have to repeat it, nor would I. But the person who made the allegation said that she said it under her breath, and he had to read her
That's
lips in
respectfully,
order to
it's not
hear
the
what
only
she
one.
was saying.
But
All I'm saying, those people
I
would not
understand
perjure
that.
themselves with the federal government. All I'm saying is this. This is not an innocent, scorned woman. I don't know her, but I would say this. From a PR point of view, you should have kept your mouth shut. You should have stayed out of this because you've now put
Right.
yourself in the media spotlight, and now she becomes a target, and everything she's done or allegedly done before this
wanna ask-
becomes media fodder.
All right, I have one other big question. A lot of people have been wondering this, Sonny. Just sort of is talking, right? The Mistress, the one who goes by the name V for Visor. Did she leak this herself, right? TMZ Sports says she was archiving her conversations with Sterling, right? And that's why she would be legally okay to put it out in the public eye because he had
Right.
agreed to the taping. But do you see a motive for why she would have leaked this herself?
Oh, well, absolutely. I mean, one, you've got this lawsuit, right? She's being sued for almost over $2 million.
By
the wife.
By the wife. And so she's thinking, you know, I'm going to get you back. But I also think what's interesting is that if she leaks it and she's now saying that he consented to it, that could be a defense because California, like many states, is a two-party consent state. So you can't have a conversation with someone and then tape it unless they have consented and they know about it. Now she says, well, he, of course, consented to this. I'm not in the wrong.
But if he picked her as his archivist,
That's a bunch
As
of
his
baloney.
He picked
What?
her
I mean,
as
come
his
on.
That's what she
archivist.
says.
Yes.
What
She
is that
says
supposed to mean?
That
well,
she
that's
was
what
the-
I'm asking.
that-
That
What is
does
an
not add up
archivist?
to
Well,
me.
it doesn't
I
add
mean,
because basically the reason that she was taping it, the legitimate reason, according to her lawyer, is that because Donald Sterling.
Donald Sterling.
You almost
Yes.
did a
Too many
really big
We got it. Donald
Mr. Sterling, as they
Sterling.
refer to him, that he asked her to tape record these conversations. The question
Right.
is will there be any sort of written proof that that was the case? Or was this something that
good
she was
point.
doing,
Yes.
you know, to cover herself? Because
Well,
she could
here's my
say,
question.
we agreed, and then...
Say there's not, sorry for interrupting, say there's not written proof. I did not hear, and there could still be on the tape, where Visor Lady asks him, hey, Donald, just want to make sure, I'm taping you. You good with that? I didn't hear that. So neither is there the audio tape, nor is there the paper trail.
But it doesn't really even matter, right? Because bottom line is, what is he going to do? Sue her? The damage has been
He's
done.
toast.
The only person that would impact is her, right?
He's
The damage
toast and he
has
the
been
should
done.
damage
be.
has been done.
All right, and of course, there are reports there could be 100 more hours of this stuff.
Yeah.
All right, thanks very much to all three of you. Still to come, more on the increasingly bizarre behavior from Donald Sterling's Mistress, plus deadly flooding in Florida tonight. We're going to go live to the scene and a witness to a botched execution that has sparked outrage around the world.